Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your time zone. Welcome to my channel. My name is Obanje Joseph. Please subscribe to this channel, share, like, as well as drop a comment on the comment section. So today, our lecture is titled Comparison between Obasanjo's use of Clausewitz'S and Babangida'S use of Tzu'S strategic military doctrines. Comparison between Obasanjo's use of Clausewitz and Babangida'S use of Tzu'S strategic military doctrines. Okay, so now there is a wide gulf between Tzu and Clausewitz. While while Tzu wrote from the perspective of ancient China, Clausewitz wrote from the perspective of early 19th century Europe. Okay, while On War is about 600 pages, The Art of War is less than 40 pages. Don't forget, On War, which is about 600 pages, was written by Clausewitz, while The Art of War, which is a pamphlet, was written by Sun Tzu, and it is less than 40 pages, in English. Sun Tzu's strategic preferences are significantly different, from Clausewitz. Sun Tzu, for instance, extols victory without bloodshed as the ideal, arguing that to subdue the enemy without fighting is the acme of skill. Clausewitz, on the other hand, is very skeptical of such an approach, to combat, arguing that reluctance to shed blood may play into your, opponent's hands. Okay, Sun Tzu sees war as a search for comparative advantage. Okay, now he believes that success in war is less a matter of destroying the enemy's army than of shattering his will to fight. In his view, the most successful strategies are those that emphasize psychology and deception. According to Sun Tzu, information represents a key to success, in war. Now, as he puts it, know the enemy and know yourself. In 100 battles, you will never be in peril. While Clausewitz believed that destroying the enemy's army is most often the key to victory in war. Now, Sun Tzu, so while Clausewitz believed that destroying the enemy, because according to Clausewitz, just destroy, just kill, just maim, just finish them, just annihilate them. You understand? But Sun Tzu, on the other hand, believes that the enemy's alliance, has to be destroyed. Now, that destroying the enemy's army's ranks, that destroying the enemy's army ranks third on his list, if as preferred strategies. Now, let us go into the comparative analysis of Obasanjo's use of Clausewitz and Babangida'S use of Sun Tzu's strategic military doctrines proper. Let us go into it. Okay, and we are starting with Obasanjo's use of Clausewitz's strategic military doctrine. Let's start with Obasanjo. Now, according to Adibi 2018, Babangida has received some hits from. So we are starting with Babangida'S use of Clausewitz, Babangida'S use of Sun Tzu. We are starting with Babangida'S use of Sun Tzu, Sun Tzu's strategic doctrine. Okay, now according to Adibi 2018, Babangida has received some hits from the press for his seeming equivocation, obfuscation, speaking from both sides of the mouth, and double talk on the two circulated versions of letters to Buhari. Now, he was unfavorably compared with Obasanjo, who in his intervention clearly pointed out the areas that Buhari's government has underperformed, and unambiguously called for Buhari not to seek re-election. He also promised to be part of a movement, to ensure that neither the PDP nor the APC wins the 2019 presidential election. Now, Sun Tzu was a Chinese general, military strategist, and philosopher who was believed to have lived in ancient China from 544 to 496 BC. He was thought to be the author of highly influential book, The Art of War. One of Sun Tzu's cherished strategies in battle is deception. Hence, he declared to win 100 victories in 100 battles is not the acumen of skill, according to him. To subdue the enemy without fighting is the acumen of skill. Now, Babangida, from what we know of him, and on the basis of which he was nicknamed Maradona, an evil genius, is a disciple of Sun Tzu, of the Sun Tzu school of military philosophy. Now, veteran writer and one of the founders of the iconic Newswatch magazine, Dan Agbese, in his highly regarded biography of the Mina General, Babangida, the military soldier and politics in Nigeria, written in 2013, tells us that Babangida does not like to be predicted and will do anything to ensure his moves are not predictable. This probably explains why in his speeches he is a master of obfuscation, and on the other hand, he always seems to need enough room to wriggle out when he is about to be boxed in. Okay, now, as a military president, his strategy was to go into alliance with any group from any part of the country to accomplish a set of objectives, and then move out of that alliance as quickly as the objective is accomplished. Now, what it does is that he may next go into alliance with a group he was allied against a few months earlier. Now, in this way, the groups and individuals he had been in alliance with across the country at different times regarded him as their friend. For individuals that became too critical of his government, he would fight and then rehabilitate them without trying to completely annihilate them. Remember the late Tai Solarin, on his public spat with Obasanjo, whom his government later supported to run for the post of Secretary General of the United Nations. Babangida, public part with Babangida, and all of that. He had public spat with Babangida, whom his government, that is Babangida's government, later supported to run for the post of Secretary General of the United Nations. Babangida also used cooperation into the system with appointments to muffle the voice of student critics. Basically, like Sun Tzu, Babangida believes that to defeat your enemy without a fight is the acumen of skill. Unlike Obasanjo, Babangida rarely pronounced one an enemy, and there will often be rehabilitation after harsh encounters. If Babangida is a student of Sun Tzu's school of military philosophy and strategy, Obasanjo is a good student of Karl von Clausewitz, the Prussian general and theorist who lived from 1780 to 1831. His book on war was a major work on the philosophy of war. It was unfinished when Clausewitz died. Clausewitz is the opposite of Sun Tzu in many ways. Unlike Sun Tzu, who believes that you can win over your enemy without a fight, and that even when you fight, you must not press your foe so hard that you do not leave him any room for escape. Clausewitz advice, kind-hearted people might of course think there was some ingenious way, to disarm or defeat the enemy without too much bloodshed. I might imagine this, this is the true goal of the art of war. Pleasant as it sounds, it is a fallacy that must be exposed. War is such a dangerous business that mistakes that come from kindness are the very worst of it. Now let us look at Obasanjo's use of Clausewitz'S strategic military doctrine. Obasanjo's use of Clausewitz'S, strategic military doctrine. Now, unlike Babangida, who rehabilitated the previous foe, Obasanjo, following Clausewitz'S quotes, will probably see this as dangerous. Hence, his reputation for being unforgiving of his opponents until they are completely annihilated. Now, other quotes from Clausewitz may throw more light on Obasanjo's mode of engagement. But before that, Clausewitz was born on 1st June 1780 in Magdeburg, in Prussian Russia. Now let us mention this, that Obasanjo's Clausewitz approach or Clausewitzian approach to politics as an art of war, and Babangida'S approach is an art of deception, can sometimes leave sour taste in the mouth. Obasanjo's Clausewitzian, believe that you need to completely annihilate your enemy to ensure he does not regroup against you, makes him come across as unforgiving and a bully. In contrast, Babangida, relying on cunning, wants to win everyone or as many as possible, to his side. Now, which to his critics makes him seem to stand for nothing substantial or perpetually speak with both sides of his mouth. His admirers, however, see this, as a sign that he is a gentleman who wants to take all contending perspectives into account, in his interventions. In the same vein, while Obasanjo's admirer will see him as a courageous man who shoots unpretentiously from the hips and leaves no one in doubt where he stands with them, his critics often call him a bully who is unforgiving. Now, according to Adibe 2018, remarkably, according to Adibe 2018, Obasanjo and Babangida, despite their different strategies and personal shortcomings, are the best we have had in this country in terms of political engineering. While Obasanjo's strategies